this habitat that's been restored in the restoration site, which is basically maritime succulent scrub or a form of coastal sage scrub, is probably one of the rarest in San Diego because we tend to fill and build right up to wetlands. So this habitat of native plants surrounding wetlands is critical to provide refugia during high tides and also to complete the ecosystem connection between uplands and wetlands.
So I did an analysis of the sediment particle size and to see how they would rate to a couple other marshes in the San Diego area. And Kendall Frost has the highest percentage of mud to sand of like 57 to 1.
Wow.
Where Sweetwater is more like 14 to 1 on mud to sand.
And does that mean, in fact, would that be a reason why we would get more deposition of heavy metals because we have more clay, composition of clay, fine particulates in our substrate?
I would think that the metals are attracted more to the particulates, the smaller particulates, and that would bring a higher concentration into the marsh.
Right.
And have it settle out.
This little channel is running down to a larger channel. This topography is really gives variety in the habitat and provides refuges, including for little fish during high tide. So as the water comes up and the marsh fills up, larger and larger fish can come in here to hunt, and the little fish go up into the side channels in order to avoid the predators. So the tidal marsh is zoned according to inundation duration. So you can see here that the cordgrass is standing in the water even here at low tide, and it's more tolerant of longer inundation. And then as we go up the bank, we on the other side and also on this side, you can see that there's Batis marittima, which is growing just slightly higher, or prefers to grow slightly higher up the bank. And then some other species, including the limonium, that grows at the highest elevations. The Kendall Frost Marsh is a really important site for research, and one of the researchers using the site at the moment is Kim Hoyt, who's working with Dimitri Dehane at Scripps Institution of Oceanography.
Salicornia pacifica, Spartina foliosa, and Batis martinus, because there are 3 different types of plants in the channels, and I wanted to see how these plants would react with the trace metals that are in the water column as the tide flows in. Because there's 15 trace metals that I'm looking at, and when I was ranking them, the ones that I see the most are iron, aluminum, selenium, lead, especially in Kendall Frost. I saw a high concentration of lead. Wow. And manganese. But I was hoping that they'd be pulling them into the sediment more so that it wouldn't be bioavailable to the organisms. And then they'd be a good place for photostabilization. So it'd be a good reason to have more marsh.
Here we are at the big bend in the creek. It's coming up from the right, as downstream is to the right and upstream is to the left. Just below me, we have what looks like a large bank failure. We don't see this very often. One of the things that we really fear here is invasion by a non-native burrowing crustacean, which might produce a lot of holes in the edges of the banks and exacerbate erosion. But this erosion might just be part of a slower process of marsh change.